Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith Andrew, and welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. This is episode 217. I'm here with the talented and beautiful Candice Cole, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you so much. That was quite an introduction. Thank you, Keith.
Now, for people who want to know what the Keith Andrew Network is, basically what the Keith Andrew Network... I was talking all day, so I'm trying to catch my voice. What the Keith Andrew Network is basically my way of showing people that even if having a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities or disabilities. But you should never give up or have people label you. And you should prove to them you can still mount to something no matter what. But labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. You live once and you have the opportunity and platform to reach your goals no matter what. So that being said, a half hour, 45 minutes of your time. You can say anything you want, curse if you want to. My theme is uncensored, and what uncensored is, it's pretty much freedom of speech, freedom of self-expression, say anything you want, express yourself how you want, and you're supporting a good cause and making a new friend out of it. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, what can you tell us about yourself?
So I am an anchor reporter here in Richmond, Virginia. I've been here almost a year. And long story short, I kind of took a break from school, but I got back into it, got focused, and I started out in upstate New York in Elmira back in 2012. And, it was very bare bones operation. I did everything myself. I produced, I anchored, and I went out in the field. I shot my own stuff and came back, and it was a grind, but it was definitely worth it for the year and a half that I was there. Then I went down to Jackson, Mississippi for about a year, and now I'm in Richmond. I'm from DC, so I'm trying to get a little bit closer to home. So the journey it hasn't always been easy, but definitely worth it.
No, absolutely. Now, before I ask you how did you get involved in all this, I'm going to ask you two easy ones, then I'm going to ask you some hard-hitting ones, and then we'll pass the show over to you. Like I said, supporting good cause, making a new friend out of it. Mm-hmm. The second one is, when you were in high school, were you athletic? Did you do any sports? And when you were in college, were you a study nerd or party animal?
When I was in high school, I was co-captain of our high school step team, which, if you're not familiar, when you get into college and you have fraternities and sororities, especially in Black Greek life, they put on step shows. So our team, we took a lot of our moves from the alphas. And, that was, what we did in high school. And then along with that, I also wrote for the school paper, which is called The Pacesetter. And we had an issue out every week. And, one of our issues that had actually gotten banned by our principal because it was like just too out there, a little too forthright. So that was kind of an interesting spin because they tried to censor us to some degree, and the paper was kind of our means of kind of rebelling against that. So I always tell that story. I think it's kind of interesting. But and in college, I partied a little bit, but by the time I got serious, I buckled down and I focused. So it became from party hard to work hard, play hard. And this is the result.
Did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or are you not a human pyramid girl?
Oh, I'm not quite sure what that is.
Oh, it's basically, a lot of people refer to cheerleading. A lot of people just do it for fun. It's basically you have a group of people, and you just form a shape of a pyramid.
No, I never really did that. I mean, I was in cheerleading when I was in the 5th grade, very briefly. And maybe we did like 1 or 2 things like that, but no, I haven't done anything like that in my adult years, no.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, no, not at all, not at all. I just haven't, I guess I haven't gotten with the right group of friends for us to do a human pyramid.
Well, would you be up for something like that?
Try anything once, except for maybe I probably wouldn't go skydiving, but
that's true.
Too afraid of heights, but yeah, I mean, why not?
Well, I do want to go skydiving. It's not the falling that scares me. Mm-hmm. It's just, I hope I'm like a cat and just land on my feet.
Yeah, right? I think the scariest part about the whole thing would probably be jumping out of the plane.
Right.
But once you're out there and hopefully, Lord willing, your equipment works, your parachute works, then I'm sure you're fine. But working up the nerve to actually jump out of the plane, I think takes a lot of guts.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you was, what did you major in? And the second part was, I hesitated. Well, I apologize.
That's all right.
Haven't done this as right. Trying to get back into the rhythm.
It's okay.
So, the first one is, who influenced you, number 1? Mm-hmm. What did you major in? And how did all this come about?
Okay, so when I was little, I mean, even all the way up until now, I used to watch NBC4 in D.C. Almost every day because, the news would come on after your afternoon cartoons. So I grew up with Jim Vance and Dorian Gensler and Wendy Rieger and a bunch of others, who would be on there. And then also Allison Seymour on Fox 5 and Wisdom Martin. So my local newscasters kind of inspired me at first, and it would always be the people kind of sitting on the anchor desk. And somewhere in my head, I think I, just kind of told myself, I want to do that one day. And then also, there's people like Anderson Cooper and Christiane Amanpour and Soledad O'Brien, and, other people who have inspired me in that way as well because they, they're out there in the world telling these harrowing stories that, you don't really get to hear about all the time. And, as I got older, those were really the people who I, kind of looked up to. So in school, I majored in, broadcast journalism, and I minored in Spanish. Then I went to grad school, and I, again, majored in television journalism. And I went to grad school overseas in London for about a year. And I had the opportunity to work with the BBC World Service, kind of as a student work program that they had. And that was really awesome. And then, I came back home, and it took me almost a year to get my first job. My very first job was in radio at WBAL in Baltimore. I did the weekend news there for a brief stint, and then I landed my first TV job with the help of my news director, Mary Street, at the time. She really kind of pushed me out of the door and, kind of sent me on my way because she knew I wanted to do TV. So that's kind of how it all happened.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing I was going to ask you is, for your fans to follow you, are you on Facebook, Twitter, Stage 32, LinkedIn? Are you on any of those?
Yeah, I'm on I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. My Facebook name is Candice Cole, Candice. not A. And my Twitter handle is at Candice_WRIC.
Now, the next question I was going to ask, the reason I'm bringing it up, but this goes into the next part, is how did you get noticed? Besides being, in fact, being a beautiful woman, number one.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
I'm a good person. I'm a sweetheart. I'm a bad sport. But I was going to say, besides being a beautiful woman, how did you get people interested in you, number one? And the whole social media thing, Twitter, Facebook, and the following, does that really impact your career? Is that something that would make someone interested? Use me for a perfect example. You finally made it. You're on the inside looking out. I'm on the outside looking in. For someone who's in your point of view, do you think social media plays a big part in getting a job, or do you think it hurts the fact that you can't get a job because of social media?
I think that social media helps out a great deal, but you have to be smart about what you post. And just because you have a personal page doesn't mean that stuff can't be accessed. And I think for news directors, a big thing is, they want to see an active social media presence. And it's something that I really had to, work on, because I'm not the most active on my social media, but I am to the point of, I get out what's important, right. So it's really been kind of a growing space for me. But I think, you have to be smart if you know that this is what you want to do, and, that you're going to it with the understanding that you are going to be in the public eye, and your personal page as well as your public profile pages will be scrutinized if you step out there. With that said, we're journalists and we are expected to be objective, but we're also human. So that doesn't mean that we don't have opinions. You just need to, be cognizant of what you do put out there. And if you do put something out there controversial, stand behind it. So have to be smart.
No, absolutely. But does, trying to find the words for it. For example, how many people do you have following you on Twitter and on your fan page? Does that dictate, it's hey, we should hire this person on the fact of, look, how many people she reads or how many supporters? Right. Does that really matter?
I'm sure that it probably plays into, a factor for some news directors. I only have 500 people following me on Twitter, but on Facebook, I have about 1,430 followers, and that number is continually growing. But I think what it really comes down to is, can you report? Can you do the job? And, for some markets more than others, do you look good on camera doing it? I'm not a news director, so I really don't know. But if I had to judge off of my own social media followers, I wouldn't guess that it's uber important. But I'm in a mid-sized market. Richmond is number 58 out of 210 markets. So I think once you get into the top 20s and, of course, the top 10s, then, yeah, your social media presence, I'm sure, would play a bigger role. But for right now, at this stage in my career, I don't think that it's made or, broken me, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
For people who want to know actually, I'm going to save this one for later on, so you can ask me. Now, actually, I'm going to pass the show over to you. Was there any subjects you want to talk about? You can ask me anything you want, gloves off, hard-hitting subjects.
Okay.
So is there anything very passionate? What pisses you off? What motivates you? This is your time, after all.
Okay. Well, how did you get into doing what you're doing, and what do you ultimately hope to achieve besides letting the world know that you can have a disability and still go after your dreams? Like, what is your personal, like, your ultimate goal?
All right. Well, first off, I would like to apologize to our viewers for the Skype breaking in, breaking out. They're just probably...
Hello?
Yep, but I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
I just want to apologize. It's just saying that there might be a storm in your area or my area. It's getting dark out. So, Skype always has problems.
Yeah.
But
did you?
No, go ahead.
Did you hear my question?
Yes.
Okay.
And that brings up what the shirt I'm wearing. It all fits the one big thing. I keep coming up with different variations of the story, but it's all about the same thing. One variation of the story is it started on a birthday wish. That, when I was 21, people said it's the most special birthday you can have in a lifetime. You can do something special, but you can be remembered. Well, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Also, I would like to have a couple famous friends. Because I'm a big fan of a couple of wrestlers and other celebrities. I was being told off, blank this, F this, F that, I was called a lowlife, a parasite. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm going about it the wrong way. And so I remember my dad used to make video yearbooks. So, I said, hey, monkey see, monkey do, right? So if he can do it, I can do it. So I imitated what he was doing. So he was doing, like, video, but I wasn't at that point. I took pictures, like, from Trish Stratus to Melina Perez to Vince McMahon to the WWE, and I would say, what if Spider-Man met Batman? And I would do my own variation and add music to it. And my brother thinks I'm an ass kisser, and he does his own thing, but I look up to him and I copy what he does. I use him as an inspiration. Everyone in my family had disabilities at one time or another, but they all overcame them, and one's a school teacher, and everyone's off doing their own thing. And I'm sitting here, and people are like, oh, you're going to be a burden, you're going to end up in a group home, you're going to do this, you got to do that. And so I'll give you a perfect example. One of my brothers said, go talk to someone else, they have connections. And I was like, okay, what about me? Well, you're a different case. You're a different scenario. We don't know what to do with you. And I, for the longest time, got tired of hearing that. And for the longest time, I was using my disability as a crutch. Can't go to college. Can't get a good job. Can't do what you're doing. So one day, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to show you and everyone else, but even with a learning disability, being labeled as mentally challenged, mentally disturbed, or retarded, I'm going to show you that being labeled whatever you want to label me, I can still amount to something. And, well, it was about 2013. I should have done this a long time ago. But in 2013, I started my talk show. Don't ask me why, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. I did 72 phone interviews.
Oh, wow.
And I interviewed people from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to Amazing Spider-Man. And,
oh, wow.
And they're saying to me, and it still gets me, why aren't you as big? Why aren't you bigger than you portray yourself to be? Why don't you have sponsors? Why don't you have people helping you? Well, I said, that's great. Would you like to help me with it? No, if you can't do it yourself, then I guess it's not meant to be. I was like, okay, yeah, thanks a lot, ass. I didn't say that. I said that after when I hung up. But,
right.
So one person I came across told me, do it over. So I did it over. And thanks to you, we're up to 217. And I was going to say thank you for that. And doing it over as in a video format. The reason I don't do audio, the reason I don't do blog talk radio and all that is because that's good if you're traveling, or if you're in a car, or if you're doing something and you want something to listen to. That's okay, I guess. But that's not for me. So I said, you know what, if you got to do something right, do it right, or don't do it at all.
Right. Do it or don't do it at all.
So I did video. And it depends on the interview. You know, some get over 100 hits, some get about 25 or about, you know, people said to me, you should be copyrighted, you should be trademarked, you should be licensed. So I went to a lawyer slash senior advisor. He said, because you're online based, you do not have to be copyrighted, number one. Number two, I would not recommend being copyrighted or trademarked. Would not be, I can't even talk. I would not recommend you getting trademarked because you would be pissing away $2,000. And because there's no income, how would you get the $2,000 back?
Right.
However, during that time, people would say to me that, do you need? He said you need permission slips, like what you did. You just sign off saying I have permission to interview you.
Right.
And I didn't do that in the beginning. People just said to me, I just took them by the words. And you can drink water on camera. You know, I was doing that. But,
sorry, I was just plugging in my my charger from my laptop, so it didn't.
But still, but you know, people said, you know, you should get permission slips. Yep, I'm here. Like, you should get permission slips. And during that time, you know, certain people would come out of the woodwork. Yeah, and this is how they talk. And yeah, you know, my agent or my publicist said, you know, like the video quality, it's degrading. We don't want to be with people like you. I only did the interview because I thought it would be beneficial to my career. You know, you're a con artist, you're an ass, you're this, you're that. Take it down or I'm going to sue you. So I took everything down. And like I said, thanks to you, we were back to 217. And I have all the folders onto my right, but everyone signed permission slips saying, do I have permission to use it? And I uploaded it. Before that, I got over hundreds and hundreds of hits and views. Now that I'm starting from scratch, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
But going forward, my biggest mistake was I should have been asking for written permission instead of verbal permission.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just, hey, I'm promoting myself. I'm advertising myself. I'm doing the best I can with a learning disability. I'm not perfect. I'm not the smartest person in the world or the dumbest. But I guess I can pass for either one. But I don't know if that's a compliment. But, like I said, I am doing the best I can. And all I get in return is people ripping into me, trying to tear me down. And it's like, and I'm going to pass the show back over to you and stop complaining to you. But I'm like, you're taking this much time to rip into me and belittle me. Wouldn't it make more sense to use your energy or use this time wisely and give me words of wisdom? No, you can't figure it out yourself and you're an idiot and it's not meant to be. Okay, I see I have a learning disability, but I see you don't care. But I know, I didn't mean to complain to you, but you know, you did ask.
Well, I just want to say that I think that that's incredibly terrible and rude. And, you know, this is a platform. It could seem, you know, insignificant to some, and of course you're always going to have naysayers and people who only see themselves, you know, but I wouldn't let anybody's negativity stand in your way. I think that it takes incredible courage to, to know that you have a disability, not use it as a crutch, push through it, and go after what you want, and try to make a difference in this world. I think that that's what we're all here for. We're all here for a purpose, and it looks like you found your purpose, and it might take some time, it might take some climbing, might take some patience on your end, but I feel like anybody who, would say those nasty things to you in the first place, and who is so self-serving, doesn't deserve a platform like this, in the first place. So I would just say, keep going, and, and who, are they any, big names who are being like so nasty to you?
I will tell you one thing that I can tell you off the air, but basically,
sure.
There's not a lot of big name actors, If I had like George Lucas, if I had like Dennis Leary, that would hurt because I grew up watching them. But these are just ordinary people who, and going back to what I was saying, I interviewed actors, actresses, models, CEOs, and everyone, just normal, hardworking people, people with disabilities, people without disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at my life, saying never once did someone give, actually that's not true, I met one guy who gave me an opportunity. But besides him, no one gave me an opportunity and said, you know what, I'm going to give you a chance to see what you do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, well, if I have to die, besides doing my talk show, I would like to be remembered as for making a difference in saying I gave ordinary people a chance. So I interview everyone and everyone. You don't have to be rich and famous. You can just be a normal, hardworking person like yourself. And I give people an opportunity. And that's one thing I pride myself on. It's like, I don't care if you're a billionaire or if you're just starting out. Mm-hmm. If you're willing to make a new friend and support a good cause, then in return, I will give you whatever, half hour, 45 minutes of your time, and get yourself out there. So I'd like to be remembered as a person who goes the extra mile and makes a difference, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And for us, one more thing I'll just pass it back to you. And for people who like to say, well, why am I wearing a Nintendo shirt? It's 86 degrees outside, so it's hot. And 2, it's not an excuse. I don't want to have my air conditioner on, because I have my air conditioner, and I live at home, and everyone has their stuff on, so I don't want to blow a fuse.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I did, if we wouldn't be talking right now, I'd be sitting in the dark.
Right.
And also, I like my interviews to be different. Out of 217, it's very different than the last, I give you a perfect example, and I promise I will shut up. When I first started, I interviewed from my phone, so whatever the phone saw, the camera picked up.
Okay.
Season 2 was from the camera to the computer screen, so whatever the camera saw from the computer screen, it picked up. That's why they said the video quality wasn't that good, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. My brother told me to do Skype recorder. I didn't know how to get that, so I continued with the original format. Because doing what was easy for me.
Right.
So now I'm doing Skype recorder. It's going to be cut in half. I'm going to be on the right, you're going to be on the left. Or when you interview me, you're going to be on the right and I'm going to be on the left. This is for an example. And as far as my wardrobe, I don't know. In the beginning, it didn't bother me because you didn't see me. I know how I'm in this tiny little box in the screen and you have the full screen, or on the full screen, you're in that tiny little box. Mm-hmm. That's what people saw the first time.
Okay.
And season 2, which was the camera, and they saw little bits of me. But
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it isn't about me. Okay, it is
Right.
a little bit. I'm not saying.
But it's not about the Nintendo shirt. I mean, or any of that. I mean, if people can't see past that, then shame on them. Like, you have to, do what makes you happy and do what makes you comfortable. You
No,
know?
absolutely. And it's like I said, I wasn't putting myself out there, even though it is for me because I'm making a statement. But it's right now, like I'm talking, doing this rant. It isn't about me because people heard that before. This is about you. You're making a new friend. You're supporting a good cause. This is your time. So I used to wear this shirt, the green, then I have a purple and long sleeves. So like I said, it's 86 degrees. I'm not getting heat stroke because you.
No, absolutely not.
So I was like, well, instead of wearing, and you look at my past interviews, I had purple, black, green, repeat, purple, black, green. That got redundant. Like, well, I may hold myself to a higher extent, like a higher level, but I'm still like everyone else. So I'm gonna put myself on the same level as everyone else. That's why if I do become famous, and like say I have my own talk show, I'm still going to work retail because I'm not saying, okay, I'm now rich and I'm gonna thumb my nose down on you. I made a promise to myself that I would never change and I would still be who I was until the day I die. And I'm gonna have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And it doesn't matter, the shirt's just a shirt. It's about being a good person, making a difference in someone's life. And now with that being said, I'm going to pass it back over to you. And this is your time after all. I would love to know more about you.
Well, what else would you like to know?
That's completely up to you. This is your time.
Well, let's see. I'm from D.C., born and raised Washingtonian. I love that place. That will always be home. Yeah, I mean, I don't really talk about myself that often. I'm usually the one asking the questions. But Richmond has been very good to me. And hopefully, Lord willing, I'll be here for quite a while. I have a great supportive family, a wonderful supportive boyfriend, and
he's lucky.
Yes. So life is good. I don't have a whole lot of complaints at this point, thankfully. It's all about just grinding and getting it done and climbing and trying to get to the next level. And I've been blessed, very blessed so far.
Let's do something fun. Usually I wrap up with, do you have a problem acting hard-hitting subjects?
Do I have a problem with hard-hitting subjects?
Yeah, I just didn't want to throw it out there and be like...
No.
Now, people... I usually ask them all out, where do you stand on Black Lives Matter, gay rights, and everything. And I haven't done that as of late. And the reason I bring that up is season 1, I asked everything. I'm like Donald Trump. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. Now, I will say that because of my profession,
yes,
I would rather not give an opinion on such controversial issues.
No, absolutely. I was just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
No. That's all that I was going to say, though.
Here it is. Now, wrapping up the talk show, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm like Bill O'Reilly. I'm going on the record before Skype craps out on us again.
Okay.
So going on the record, when I first approached you, what was your honest opinion of me? And after doing the interview, what's your honest opinion of me now?
I think my honest opinion is, has been about the same. I had read your profile on LinkedIn after, you reached out to me. And, I thought that it was, kind of a cool thing that you were doing. trying to get the word out there, about people with disabilities, and being encouraging and kind of being that mascot, sort of, so to speak, that spokesperson, since you yourself also have a learning disability, to kind of show people, you can do what you want to do, don't let anybody stop you. And I just felt that was, pretty courageous. And, it's been an enjoyable interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad that I did it.
Well, wrapping up the interview segment, I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show, and I'm looking forward to building a friendship with you as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Keith.